excited? Let me hear you. Yes, that's what I like to hear. Okay, all right. So, the next person to the stage, we're welcoming a very special doctor from Baptist Health, okay? Dr. Katelin Holmes. She is a breast surgical oncologist. She received her medical degree with honors from the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. She completed her general surgery internship at Medical City Fort Worth Hospital in Fort Worth, Texas. She also completed her general surgery residency at the University of Texas Health Science Center in Houston, Texas. She completed a specialty rotations within breast surgery during her residency, winning at 1D Anderson in Houston, Texas, and the West Clinic in Memphis, Tennessee. She is an active member of the American Society of Breast Surgeons, Society of Surgical Oncology, and the American College of Osteopathic Surgeons. There's a lot more I could say about Dr. Holmes, but I wanted to give the chance and the opportunity to tell her more about herself from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So please give a big round of applause for Dr. Katelin Holmes, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today. It's quite an honor, and especially to be here in Montgomery and supporting our survivors that are here with us today. Something near and dear to my heart for sure. Like she said, I am a breast surgical oncologist, meaning I'm a surgeon that treats all diseases of the breast, both cancer and anything else that's not cancer. And I practice here in Montgomery at the UAB Breast Health Clinic with my partner, Dr. Pam Strickland. Some of you all may have seen the recent trend on TikTok where people will give you 5 tips that they wish that you knew about something that they're an expert in. So today, even though this isn't a TikTok, I'd like to give you 5 things that I wish everyone knew as a breast surgeon. The first thing that I wish everyone knew was I want conversations about breast cancer to start early in your family. For a long time, we realized that a lot of women had breast cancer, and a lot of people just didn't talk about it because it was seen as something that was too private or shameful or personal, and we know that's not the case. We know it's very important for people to start those conversations. So as your children grow up, they know what their risk, may be. I also wish that people knew that, hey, it's not just limited to breast cancer. We need to talk about all cancers that run in families. So if you have a history of someone with prostate cancer that's spread everywhere, stomach cancer, ovarian cancer, male breast cancer, those are all warning signs to me as a breast surgeon where if I saw you in the office, I might say, hey, we need to talk about genetic testing. That's just a little blood draw or a little bit of a saliva sample where we can make sure that you don't carry one of the breast cancer genes. That's something that if you have family members with multiple cancers like that, we'd be glad to see you and take care of you. I wanted to talk about number 2. The surgical options to treat breast cancer are better than ever before. Unfortunately, I see women frequently where they may have had a grandmother or a great aunt or somebody in their family that had breast cancer many decades ago. And while I'm sure surgeons did the best they could at the time with the knowledge they have, we know so much more detail about how to treat cancer now. I routinely perform operations like nipple-sparing mastectomies, breast cancer with reconstruction, specialized lymph node procedures where we can spare a lot of your lymph nodes and prevent arm swelling like lymphedema. We are so advanced and have so many new things to offer you that I never want someone to be scared and think that their surgery experience may be something that's very outdated, like somebody that they know. We additionally share and collaborate all of our cancer plans with other doctors here in the community. I formed a multidisciplinary breast tumor board when I started practice because I firmly believe every woman's cancer treatment should be personalized. This isn't a one-size-fits-all diagnosis. Everyone's breast cancer diagnosis is different, and therefore your treatment should be unique. Number 3, I wish everyone knew, never miss a mammogram. I can't stress that enough. There's a lot of confusion about when to start mammograms. So I practice by the gold standard of cancer care, which is the NCCN guidelines. And I encourage all of my patients to start screening mammograms at the age of 40. Never miss one. We unfortunately are seeing people that had delays because of COVID. They weren't able to get their mammograms. They may still be behind, and maybe you haven't had one since the pandemic started. If that's you today, I would encourage you to make a call Monday morning and get your mammogram scheduled. We've seen all too many patients that come in with more advanced, bigger tumors that unfortunately have a more difficult journey ahead of them because it wasn't caught as early as we would like. The other option is ask your doctor if you can get a 3D mammogram. If you have the opportunity as a breast cancer surgeon, I would say absolutely yes. 3D mammography is one of the best tools we have to make sure that a small tumor is not hiding within the breast tissue that traditional mammography wouldn't have caught. If you have someone in your family that had breast cancer very young, let's say you have a cousin or an aunt or a mother who was diagnosed before the age of 40, you should start mammograms 10 years before that diagnosis. And then lastly, there's a lot of kind of old wives' tales and fears about, well, I'm not getting a mammogram, that's too much radiation. It's a really small amount. If you actually took a flight from New York to California, you would get more radiation than a new digital mammogram would give you. So I would say don't let those fears stop you. No, it doesn't hurt terribly. We have really good mammography techs here in town, and they'll take good care of you. So if you're due for your mammogram, I want you to call Monday morning and get that on time. Number 4, if you're faced with a cancer diagnosis, I want you to know that you're not alone. Unfortunately, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. And as you look around this huge room, think of how many survivors that we're here with today who have fought breast cancer and are here to tell us their tale. From the moment you receive that call, it's a completely overwhelming process. And when I tell all my patients, I want you to bring a support person to your appointments. I want you to keep a notepad by you and write down all of your questions. And I want you to find a doctor that takes the time to answer those questions. And if you don't feel like your voice is being heard, I want you to get a second opinion. I want everyone to feel comfortable with their care. It should be personalized to you, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions. And lastly, I want to talk about how do you reduce your risk of breast cancer. You know, unfortunately, sometimes we're given back cards and we can't really control what life throws at us. But there are a few things you can do to decrease your risk of developing breast cancer. The first of those is probably the hardest to implement, which is exercise. We know studies that show women who exercise 30 minutes a day, and that might be something simple like walking, decrease the odds of a cancer diagnosis by 40%. That's huge. If you smoke, stop smoking. If you drink alcohol, limit those drinks to less than 5 per week. Those are 2 huge causes of breast cancer that a lot of people don't realize are directly related. If you can eat more of a plant-based diet, decrease animal products because you're decreasing the hormones from an animal that you're putting in your body, that also is good for you. And lastly, I know these are fighting words, but if you're on hormone replacement therapy and you've been on it for more than 5 years, have a conversation with your doctor. Being on estrogen and progesterone does increase your lifetime risk by 30% for breast cancer. Doesn't mean they're all bad, but it means you need to be aware so you make the best decision for your body. I hope some of these 5 topics have brought a little bit of knowledge into the breast cancer world. Again, I'm Dr. Katelin Holmes. I practice at the UAB Breast Health Clinic. It would be an honor to serve you. It's an honor to be here today and practice in Montgomery. I'm so proud to take care of the women of Central Alabama. Have a great afternoon.